All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is John Whitaker. I am the Council Program Director for the Hudson Valley Council. I'm also the Council Popcorn Staff Advisor. A couple people I want to introduce. We have Patty Carter. Patty, can you want to say hello?
Hi everyone. And first of all, I do want to apologize to anybody that received about 10 to 20 emails on Friday from me. That was not intentional. That was in my outbox that did not get released to my sent box. So I do sincerely apologize. I would never, ever do that to anybody. With that said, though, I'm very excited to start another fundraising season with Council. And I just look forward to supporting everyone, answering questions, concerns, bringing anybody up to date on anything they need. I'm always available on the phone. I answer my emails, so don't hesitate to contact me.
Great, thank you, Patty. And our contact information will be at the end of this presentation. Some other people I want to introduce. We got Vincent Price and Gary Rosenfeld from Trails End Popcorn here. You want to say hello, guys? All right. And just some Zoom etiquette. If you can remain on mute. And in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute everyone right now, and then allow those the Trails End guys are about to talk to. They can unmute themselves too. So thank you all for coming. Lots of great things happening in Hudson Valley Council. I hope everyone is staying safe. And thank you for joining us as we prepare for the 2020 Popcorn Kickoff. We're going to be going over some pretty big changes happening in the sale. And also, how to sell during COVID-19. So with that, I'm going to get started. All right. Just going to move my screen here. All right. So why do we sell popcorn? 73% returns to scouting. It funds our unit scouting program, develops character in our scouts, and improves our council's resources. Last year, total sales the council did was $410,000, and those things went towards unit activities, different events. It supported the council delivering program and member support, events, trainings, and it really is a big asset to the Hudson Valley Council as a whole. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Vincent. Take it away.
Thanks, John. As John said, my name is Vincent Price. That is not an accident. My mom was a big-time horror movie fan, so when she got the opportunity, she took it. So as you can imagine, I didn't get Disney as a kid. I got a lot of scary movies, but I turned out all right. As for what I do for Trails End, I work alongside Gary Rosenfeld. I'm inside sales support, and I also take care of distribution for the Northeast region. So I'm the guy that's going to make sure that we get popcorn where it needs to be this year. But in terms of our programs today, we're going to talk to you guys about 4 things: the Trails End app, Trails End Rewards, Trails End Online, and Trails End Facebook communities. Obviously, as you know, a lot of things have changed this year due to COVID, so we've had some adjustments on our end as well, and I'm going to make sure I cover those with you guys as well. All right, so in terms of the Trails End app, if you're new to the sale, last year we came out with an app that was basically designed to make your lives a lot easier. Even though the sale is beneficial in terms of fundraising, it's also at times can feel like a second job. And so from a Trails End standpoint, we wanted to make sure that we not only made the sale a lot easier, but kind of gave you visibility in some areas where you didn't see it. And one of those main areas is inventory. So in terms of proven results, last year, the app was used by over 14,500 units and 160,000 scouts. If you use the app and ran 75% of your sales through it, you saw a growth of roughly 10%. And not only that, one of the features of the app that we implemented last year was that you could now take credit cards. So what that did was it turned a lot of those no's into yeses. Now, I'm sure no one will openly admit it, but I'm very guilty of walking past a Girl Scout and they're offering to sell cookies, but I tell them, hey, John, I need you to go back.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, I tell them I don't have any cash, and so they're not able to complete the sale. Well, that same thing applies to the Boy Scouts. And so to kind of fix that, we added the feature to take credit cards. So in terms of our app, some of the key benefits are that not only do we offer the benefit of taking credit cards, but Trails In is going to pay the fees on all credit cards taken, as long as it's ran through the app. So if you run your transactions through the app, we're going to handle the credit card fees. Another benefit is that you're going to get real-time tracking and reporting of sales. So this is going to not only allow you to see what's going on, but you're going to see who has what inventory and how they're doing in terms of selling through it. Another feature this year is that families can now, instead of turning in cash, they can now keep the cash and apply it to their credit card. So if you collect cash at a show and sell, you can now take that cash, put it in your pocket, and just go ahead and put it on your card to make it a lot easier. Another benefit that you're going to see is that you're able to calculate Scout sales easy through the Trails In reward ordering. So one of the cool things about our reward program is that we do the Amazon gift cards. Well, this year through the app, you're going to be able to see exactly when the Scout has a gift card available. Some of the things we ran into last year was that there was some confusion on where to find this. So once a gift card is available this year, as soon as you log in, you're going to be able to see a nice little sign that says claim reward. And then last but certainly not least, you're going to once again save time this year. This time even more simply because we've streamlined and mainlined some of the processes that we had from last year. Now, if you don't have the app and you'd like to get it, the app can be downloaded on both the iOS platform and the Android platform as well. Just simply go to the Apple Store and the Google Play Store and you'll be able to download it. Now, in terms of what the app is going to look like this year, these 4 slides give you kind of a preview of what you can expect. So as you can see, you got your point of sale, your payment screen, your storefront scheduling screen, and your sales tracking screen as well. Now, in terms of what we fixed about the app, I can tell you right now that it's going to perform a lot better this year on, it's going to perform a lot better on Android than it did last year. For whatever reason, it seemed to do really well on the Apple system, but when it came to Android, it didn't perform quite as well. So the app has been completely rebuilt, and it's been rebuilt in using Google Flutter. So what that means is that now you're going to have an app that is equal regardless of what phone you have. So you don't have to worry about iPhone people giving you crap because your app isn't working on your Android. It's going to compete just as well this year. In terms of other improvements, John, I need you to go back.
Sorry. There you go.
In terms of other improvements, you're going to be able to register your Scouts faster. In fact, it should take you less than a minute. We haven't actually timed it out, but some of the pros claim they can do it in less than a minute. So you should be able to as well. In terms of checkout, you're going to go from 9 clicks to 4 clicks, and that's just us saving you extra steps and putting a little bit of time back in your pocket. And then one of the newest features you're going to notice is the new Trails In Online Direct, and that's going to be just below the Show and Sell button when you get into the app. And I'll touch on this a little bit later, but this is kind of our answer to COVID-19. Another thing you're going to get is consolidated Scout and storefront views, as well as reporting in action. So that's also going to give you fewer clicks, and you're going to have a lot more of the information in one spot as opposed to having to exit out of one screen and go to the next. It's going to be a lot easier for you. And then another thing we're doing is we are giving Scouts card readers again this year, but instead of giving them to the units, we're going to give them to Scouts who've sold over 3,500 and Scouts who've sold over 1,000. And then last but not least, as I've already touched on, we will be paying credit card fees as long as they've been run through the app. Now, in terms of the app, if you used it last year, you're going to recognize the picture you see to the left. That's pretty much a view of how the app looked last year. And to your right, you have the 2020 view. So you can see that we've not only given the app a major facelift, but we've also added some features as well. So on your first slide right here on the 2020 side, you're going to see where you can get a breakdown of your storefront sales, your wagon sales, and your online sales. And then just below that, it's going to show you how much you've taken in cash, as well as how much you've taken in credit card. And if you look up at the top where you see the 2,500, you can see your goal. So it's tracking your goal, and then to the left of that, it's going to show you how far away you are from reaching that. From a storefront sales perspective, you can see here that you're going to get extra visibility as well. So you can now see the storefront location that you're signed up for. In this instance, it says Kroger. You can see your date as well as your storefront shift time. And just below that, you're going to get a breakdown of your shift sales, your current shift sales, the total shift sales, Also the number of hours worked, and then the number of future hours that still have yet to be worked. And then last but certainly not least, if you look on the wagon sales side, you'll be able to see a breakdown of your total wagon sales, as well as how much you've taken in cash, credit card, and then the number of undelivered orders. Now, in terms of undelivered orders, we understand that last year there was a lot of confusion on what's considered delivered and what's considered undelivered. Some of the things were pre-defaulted as delivered, and so that caused some issues when it came to ordering. I can tell you that that has been fixed this year, and as soon as you go to order, as soon as you complete a transaction and go to exit out, it's going to stop you with a big red exclamation point that's going to tell you, hey, this is marked as delivered. Are you sure this has been taken care of? So you have to acknowledge that before it allows you to complete the sale. Now, I'm talking about this wonderful app and how it does all these cool things and how it's so beneficial. But at the end of the day, the app doesn't do you any good if you don't know how to use it. Luckily, Trailsend has an answer for that. Last year, we did roughly 20 webinars. This year, we are doing over 200 webinars. These webinars are not only designed to teach you how to use the app, but it's also designed to give you questions, because it's one thing to watch something, but if you generally don't have an understanding of it by the time the webinar is over, it doesn't do you any good. And so to help with that, we're implementing a system where we're going to do every question asked, every question answered. So I can tell you that as a Trailsend guy, all of us, well, not all of us, but each one of us has to at least be on one webinar every day. And so we're on these webinars making sure that we get all of your questions taken care of. So if you manage to sign up for one and you feel like, there's something that you really don't understand and you want to get some clarity on it, feel free to stick around, ask your question. No matter how many you have, we'll get them taken care of. And by the end of the day, you should be able to leave the webinar feeling as though you know just as much as we do. If you'd like to sign up for these webinars, you can. You can register at www.trails-n.com/webinars. All right, next we have a short video for you that's going to give you a demo of the app. It's roughly 6 minutes, and it's going to cover a number of things, but one of the main things it's going to cover is how to complete a transaction. So after that, I want you guys to pay attention to the end of the video so that you can see how it handles the delivered and undelivered portion that I spoke about earlier.
Once you've downloaded the app, go ahead and log in with your username and password that you've created during registration. This is going to bring you to your dashboard. As you can see from the dashboard, I can see what my goal is. I can also see my total sales. I'm currently at $640 in sales. I'm $110 away from my next prize level. I can see what I've done in storefront sales, wagon sales, and online sales. I can see payment types. I can see who's paid with cash, as well as with credit cards. As I scroll down, I can see all the different storefront shifts. These are the locations that my leader would have set up. I can see the shifts that are available, and I can also see shifts that I'm currently signed up for. As I scroll down, I can see option to share my page. I can now share my fundraising page so friends and family members can support me in scouting. So I'm going to now share my fundraising page on Facebook, and I'm going to type in buy popcorn. So now friends and family members can support me in my scouting activities. I'm going to go back to my dashboard. A lot of options are available from your screen. I can update my profile. I can change my pictures. At Trailsend, we offer a lot of training materials. So I'm going to click on training, and it's going to show me the materials that are available. We have a lot of training videos. They typically go from anywhere from a minute to about 2 minutes long. I can see videos on how to use the app, steps to success, how to practice my fundraising speech. These are videos that were done by some of our top-selling scouts. I'm going to click on rewards, and I'm going to see what my goal is. And based upon the goal that I've selected, it's going to show me the Amazon card that's available. When I click on the rewards tab, it's going to show me where I am in current sales and what level I'm currently at. Once my leader has approved the prizes and submitted them, my gift card will be available for me to claim. And then I could just shop away. I'm going to click on storefront sales. And I'm going to scroll through, and I want to do a show and sell in August. So August 22nd, we're set up at the Walmart in North Bergen, New Jersey. When I click on the different shifts, it's going to show me the shifts that are available and what I've signed up for. So right now I am signed up for the 10 a.m. to 12 shift. Well, I don't think that's going to work for me, so I'm going to click on withdraw. And once I've successfully withdrawn, I'll get a notification and an email will be sent to me. I'm going to sign up for the 8 a.m. shift. That one works a little better for me. So once I click on sign up, I'll get notification I've successfully signed up, and this will be synced with my calendar. So now we're going to go over and take a look at the wagon sales. And we're going to walk you through how to make a sale. Under the wagon sale, I'm currently at $445 in sales. And I can see what I've done in cash as well as credit card sales and how many orders have yet to be delivered. I want to look at my orders for the entire year. So I click on the Orders tab, and you can see all the orders that I've done year to date. Some of them are marked as delivered, some are marked as undelivered. Those that have yet to be delivered, I know I need to go back to the customer and bring them their product. Some items are marked as refund. With our app, you can refund an order up to within 48 hours of purchase. Maybe a customer bought the wrong item, wanted the white cheddar instead of the classic caramel. I can see the inventory. Under the inventory, I'm going to see what I've sold, how much I have on hand. A lot of units will provide some of their scouts and product up front, and then they can sell it on the wagon sale. I can see what items have been undelivered, so I know I need to go back and deliver that product. So let's go ahead and start a sale. It's going to bring up the menu of items. So I'm going to go ahead and buy a bag of white cheddar and the chocolatey caramel crunch. Those are my two favorite. So now when I go to checkout, it's going to show the two items in my cart, and they're currently marked as delivered. Well, I'm going to check out and use a credit card. It's going to show me a warning that reminds me that these items have been marked as delivered. If this is not correct, this is where you have the opportunity to make a change and edit that. So now I'm ready to take the credit card from the customer. As long as I have a Square reader plugged into my app, Trails In will pay those fees. So all I do is swipe the card, and it is that simple. We have now made a sale. And as you can see, the customer has the option to request a receipt. We can send it by email or we can send it by text. And that's it. It's a very simple process, and that's how you take an order.
So as you can see, from a general standpoint, it's not that difficult to make a sale in the app this year. It was fairly easy last year, but this year we want to definitely make sure that we not only improved upon that, but that we made sure that anyone can just pick it up and get it done. And so we just wanted to show you guys a short demonstration of how easy it could be, and hopefully you guys get the opportunity to try it out for yourselves as well. Next, we're going to talk about online direct. So as you guys are well aware of, really COVID just came through unexpectedly, but not only that, it really hampered the way that we go about our everyday lives. From forcing people to be sheltered, from shutting down some of the businesses and stuff that we like to frequent, to affecting warehousing, it pretty much affected everything. I think one of the main parts of our lives that have been hit is the ability to fundraise. For the scouts, it took away a lot of their opportunity to earn some dollars this year, for their spring sales. And so to kind of combat that, from a Trails In standpoint, we wanted to make sure that we provided a way to not only sell safely, but to make sure that scouts could continue to sell if if COVID actually came back. Because as you know, there are some parents who, even though their kids are in scouting, they may not feel comfortable with letting their child go door to door or stand out in front of a storefront sale. And so what we wanted to do was we wanted to make sure that we had something in place that would allow that kid to still have the opportunity to fundraise even if they can't get outdoors. And that's what Trails In Direct is, or Trails In Online Direct is. So if you're familiar with our online program last year, you realize one major thing, that the items were just really kind of expensive. And so some of the feedback that we got was that people would also like to see some of our traditional items sold on the online side, but at traditional prices. And so we took that into consideration when building Online Direct, and you are going to get that this year. And I say that, but there is one small asterisk to put on that. Customers will have to pay for shipping, and that's going to be $7.99 for the first item and 99 cents for the second item. Now, I'm speaking about Online Direct, but Online Direct also ties into our rewards program in a cool way. For our rewards program, we're not really going by dollar amounts this year, but instead we're going by points. So for that scout who maybe can't get outdoors to sell, they're going to have the ability to make double points on every sale that's made using Online Direct. Not only that, we're also running some promotions with Online Direct. From, let's say, July 3rd to July 5th, you're going to get free shipping for Online Direct. And then from July 1st to August 15th, any unit sale that's made using Online Direct, that unit is going to get 5% of their sales back in the form of Amazon gift cards. So that's just one of the cool things that we're trying to do to not only promote the Online Direct, but to also promote safe selling. Now, just because I say Online Direct can be used from the comfort of your own home and you don't have to really necessarily be outdoors, that doesn't mean that you can't still use it if you are outdoors. So maybe there's a situation where a scout is selling at a show and sell, and maybe they don't have the product on the table. Well, if a customer is willing to pay the shipping, a scout can simply pick up their phone, pull up their Online Direct page, and make that sale through the app. And that's one of the major differences that Online Direct brings this year. Last year, the two were different. You know, the online platform was its own page and own entity, and the app was its own thing. We've actually fused the two together, and you're going to be able to find the Online Direct button directly beneath the show and sell button. Now, from a benefit perspective, you're getting a number of things back on this, because one, there's not going to be any handling of products because it's going directly to the customer. So what this means is, from a take order standpoint, you don't have to worry about a scout doing a return visit or potentially catching COVID. And you really don't have to worry about handling any products. So that's going to help with your excess inventory. So when that helps with your excess inventory, that's also going to minimize your risk as well. There's no collecting of cash, so you don't have to worry about a scout or parent touching dirty money, because Online Direct is going to be credit card only, which means that from another benefit standpoint, every time you take a credit card sale, it's going to take off the invoice that you owe toward the council. From a leader standpoint, it's going to be less work for you. You don't have to track down cash for this, and you don't have to do this and make sure that scouts deliver product that they needed to. So it's a little bit less of a headache. Just like with everything else, you're still going to have the ability to do sales tracking through the app. So you're going to be able to look on the app and see the accurate accounting is taking place. And then last but certainly not least, you're going to have that bonus incentive that I talked about for units who sell using Online Direct from July 1st through August 15th. And that's something that we definitely want to make sure that we're taking advantage of, because at the end of the day, it's not only giving units a lot more back in terms of an Amazon gift card, but when scouts sell through Online Direct, they're going to get those double points as well. So that's an added bonus. Now, in terms of benefit from scouts, as I've already touched on, the scouts are going to get the double points. They don't have to worry about handling product, which is going to minimize their exposure to COVID. It's going to save them time because they don't have to go back and make deliveries. It's extremely easy, as I told you guys already. It can be pulled up in the app simply by clicking the button that's directly beneath the storefront sales button. And something else that's different, you know, last year they could share their page in order to get sales from maybe someone who's across the nation. And that's back again this year. They can still share their page. But an added feature is that now a link can actually be texted as well. So if you maybe have someone who really isn't too savvy in terms of getting on a web browser, you don't have to worry about it. You can literally send the link directly to their phone, and they're able to pull up the page and still make the sale. Now, in terms of how it works, there are two ways to take advantage of selling online direct. One, you can share your fundraising page, which I just spoke to, where you share your page, the customer clicks the link, they place the orders, and the product is going to ship directly to the customer. The second way, which I've also spoken to, was to have it pulled up through the app. So if maybe someone isn't too web savvy, but they are used to using apps and things like that, they can simply pull it up on their app, take payment, and the product is still going to ship directly to the customer. Now, another benefit this year is that I told you guys that we're doing some cool things with the online direct, and that the scouts are going to be able to get bonus points in terms of double points while selling through online direct. But there's also a benefit from taking credit and debit as well. So for the kids who are selling from the storefronts and the take order sales, they're still going to be able to get a benefit as well. So what we're doing for those scouts is that any scout who makes a sale and is paid for using a credit or debit card, those scouts are going to get 1.5 time points. So there are also some benefits. And then in addition to that, anytime you take a debit card or a credit card, one of the things that we tend to see happen is that a customer is usually willing to spend more. And this happens because as an adult, we generally carry that simple $20 that we swear covers everything. So whether it's gas or a last minute purchase, as an adult, we always have that $20 bill on us. But when you're using a debit card, you don't really have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about going over that $20, and so you tend to spend more. From a scout standpoint, it's a lot safer simply because we understand how much that money passes hands. And the last thing we want to do is have a kid potentially touch a bill that's going to get them sick. I've already touched on the bigger rewards. You're going to earn 1.5 points for every dollar sold, which is going to be a phenomenal benefit for the scouts. From a parent standpoint, I've touched on this a little earlier as well. The parents are now going to be able to take the cash and they can simply put it on their card. So a parent can take the cash, put it in their pocket, and they can account for the cash sales by using their debit card. And then last but certainly not least, if your scout happens to not have a Square reader, that's not going to be a problem. The app also allows you to manually enter cards as well. You're still going to get credit for that debit or credit card sale. Now, from a Trails In reward standpoint, I talked to you guys about the changes in terms of how we're going from a dollar system to a point system this year. But one of the other major changes that we've made is that we've added more levels. And the reason we've done that is because what we were noticing last year is that sometimes you could have a scout, let's say a scout hits $1,000, and they're excited that they were able to hit that mark, and they're excited that they were able to, really make $1,000 in sales. So they want to keep going, but when they look, they realize in order to get to that next gift card, they have to sell an additional $500 more dollars. And in some situations, we kind of felt like that demotivated the scout, which is something obviously we never want to do. And so to kind of help them this year, what we did was added more levels. So now instead of a scout having to go from $1,000 to $1,500, we've added that extra little step in there that's going to boost them. So now they can go from $1,000 to $1,250 to $500. And even some people may argue that it still sounds like it's a little bit of a daunting task. But you got to remember a lot of other things are factoring into it. So if they have their rewards and they're selling at the traditional storefront sale, but they're also sharing online direct whenever they have free time, they're going to get double points from that online direct. So what you're going to see is that scout is actually going to be pushed to that next tier even faster than they were last year. So that's going to be pretty cool. If you're not familiar with our rewards program, last year we implemented the Amazon gift card rewards because at the end of the day, we really wanted the scouts to feel like they were being rewarded for their hard work. I liken this a lot to like us being an adult. We understand that, there is some majesty to having a physical prize program where everyone gets together, you hand out prizes, and you kind of turn it into an event. But at the end of the day, it was also a lot of work, whether you're tracking down prize order forms, whether you're trying to track down a prize that didn't come in, or whether you have a scout that didn't even pick up their prize. It was just a lot of extra work. Now, from the adult standpoint, I liken it to a lot like us working, We work hard every week, we take care of business, and we do what we need to do. But at the end of the day, we get our paycheck, and our boss says, hey, you did a good job, but you can only pick from these prizes. As an adult, we wouldn't really feel satisfied with that. And I think the scouts kind of felt the same way. And so with the Amazon Reward Program, what we wanted to do was give them something where they could work their tails off, really go out and make a lot of sales and just have a good time. And at the end of the day, pick something that they really want. So if you're like me and you have a scout that's really into Fortnite, like my son is, he sells here at the Anthony Wayne Council. He's really into Fortnite, and every other day he's asking me for V-Bucks. So finally, I told him, you know, if you really want these V-Bucks, go out and sell popcorn and you can earn it and you don't have to worry about getting it from me. So from a parent standpoint, it's also going to save you money as well. But, you know, it gives that scout that sense of satisfaction to know that, hey, I've earned this because I put in the work and I did it myself. I did everything I needed to do. And now that I've collected enough money, I can get pretty much whatever I want. So it's pretty cool to see your scout be able to kind of feel like, you know, they did this all on their own, pretty much without your help. So that's a cool aspect of the reward program as well. But in terms of why scouts love the Trails In Rewards, one, bigger prizes and more value. As I've already spoken to, when it comes to Amazon, a scout can pretty much get anything they want, whether it's a lazy boy, whether it's a vending machine. You'd be surprised at some of the prizes that the scouts end up with, but it's pretty cool to see their creativity and some of the things they go after. They get their prizes faster. You know, once a unit or scouts done with their sale, as long as they're paid up with the council, they can pretty much submit for their gift card. And last year it took roughly 7 days for the process, but this year we've reduced it to 4, so they're going to get that a lot faster than they have been before. With COVID going on, you don't have to worry about meeting up for a scout to collect their prize. Once they submit for their gift card and once they select their prize, it's going to automatically come to your door, so you really can get this without leaving the comforts of your home. I've spoken to this from an online direct standpoint. A scout's going to get it faster if they sell through online direct, simply because they're going to have the ability to earn double points instead of the 1 point from a dollar for dollar sale or the 1.5 points from a just general credit card sale. And then last but certainly not least, the scouts get what they want. From a unit leader standpoint, it saves not only time, but the unit leaders don't have to worry about handling the prizes at all. The orders are automatically tracked, and the unit leader is going to be able to look and see what the scout has sold, how close they are to their goal, and what else they need to get done in order to get their prize. And then with online direct, storefront, and wagon sales, all three of those are going to count toward the rewards. And so scouts have multiple ways to sell. So if you do have that parent that's not comfortable with your scout being out front of a storefront or going door to door, you can let them know, hey, we also have this way for your scout to sell, which is the online direct, and they can still earn prizes and get their Amazon gift card as well. And then last but certainly not least, we're going to help motivate and train the scouts through the app as well. So if you go into your app and you maybe have a scout that's not aware of what to do or not really sure of what to do, there are videos in the app that can tell you how to submit your rewards or how to sell or how to pretty much do anything involved in the app. So that's another cool feature as well. Now, we've spoken about the values of the rewards program this year, and this slide just kind of gives you a look at what we're doing. So you can see the 2 points for the online direct, which is double points for every $1 sold. You can see that if you just simply don't sell through online direct, but you do take credit card at the show and sell and traditional take order, you are going to be able to earn that 1.5 points. And then if you take cash, you're going to get dollar for dollar, or a point. You're going to get 1 point for every dollar. And then the bulletin here is just a visual aid. So it's not necessarily saying, oh, these are the only things you can get for these amounts, but it's saying these are some of the things you can get when you hit these amounts. If you're new to the popcorn sale and you still need to register your unit, I can tell you that there is a link that's available to the council that John can get to you that's going to allow you to directly sign up underneath the Hudson Valley Council. So if you need that, you can simply get with John, or you can go to www.trails-in.com/unit-registration. Now, last but certainly not least, in terms of our programs, I want to talk to you guys about the Facebook community. So the Facebook community was new to us last year as well as to you guys. But what we wanted to do was we wanted to create an environment in which everyone who's participating in the sale could kind of come together and mingle and share ideas. And that's pretty much what it turned into. What we saw that was really cool was that a lot of people to mingle with some of the people in different regions that they don't typically mingle with. And by having this ability, they were able to, one, not only get different selling techniques, but they were also able to get a lot of cool things like, hey, how do I set up my display table? Hey, what's a good pitch for my kid to use? So it was a very good tool. And last but certainly not least, one of the greatest things about it was that you were actually able to go in there and ask questions from some other people in different parts of the nation who are also participating in the sale. So there are times where sometimes you may have a question, but things are just really hectic at the council level and you can't really get a hold of anybody. If you throw your question on Facebook, I guarantee you're not only going to get an answer within 3 minutes, but you're going to get roughly 50 answers within 3 minutes, which was really cool. From a Trails In standpoint, we do have personnel that help with the Facebook group, and they were on for what seemed like 24 hours a day, and we're going to actually try to ramp that up this year. One of the cool things we're doing is we're doing more engaged activities. So we may get on there and maybe we'll get on there and do a giveaway, or maybe we'll get on there and host a webinar from something new that's coming out. The possibilities are going to be endless, but we are going to have personnel jumping on to do more live events this year. We think that's going to be pretty cool. Now, in terms of how the Facebook group did last year, we were able to get roughly 18,000 members. If you were a member of our Facebook group last year, you saw growth of roughly 5 to 5.5%. From a scout leader standpoint, you were able to not only get fast answers, but you were able to get accurate answers. And maybe sometimes you get answers that are even better than the ones you were expecting. And then from a unit leader standpoint, you are able to go in there and get real-time best practices and tips from peers and Trails In experts. One great thing I can tell you about the Facebook group is that when there's new information, you are going to get it extremely fast. And as Gary and I learned a few weeks ago, sometimes you may even get the information faster than us. So if you're not a member of our Facebook group, I encourage you to get on and join, because it's going to be very beneficial to you and it's going to keep you in the know of everything that's going on. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Gary.
Thanks, Vincent. So as Vincent mentioned, that when you get on our Facebook page, you get a lot of good information, and a lot of times people are always asking about best practices and, what are some of the tips. And myself, I was a popcorn colonel for about 6 years at the Jersey Shore Council. Even though my son's not in scouting, I go on the Facebook page and I always pick up a few different tips. So if we can start with the planning side of it. So in the planning, first thing is you want to have a good plan. And we always tell everyone, set your goal. And you want to plan for an entire year of scouting programs and plan to fund the entire year with one fundraiser. Less time fundraising, more time scouting. People did not get into the scouting program to sell popcorn. It's about the program. And it's whatever your goal is. So whatever that goal is, you want to break it down to hours. And we know the average scout sells about $125 per hour. So if your goal is 5,000 or 10,000, and we had several units that went over 6 figures this year, that'll tell you how many hours you need. Next is build a team. Share ideas and share the efforts. Prevent leader burnout and spread the workload. I can tell you firsthand experience. I worked for Trails End, and when I was the popcorn colonel, I had a tough time with it. It was a lot of work. Now, we didn't have the app in those days, and as one of my scouts said, it's because the internet wasn't invented back then, but I'm not that old. So, but you got to have a team in place. And, there are some folks that, some guys just want to be the rah-rah, the cheerleader. Somebody just wants to be the person that does the spreadsheet. Or you may have somebody like we had a gentleman that had a truck, and he used to love going to the warehouse. So he was our warehouse coordinator. And you want to have a plan. So you want to make sure the pack carries on and there's a successor there. So next, just touch upon the different ways of selling. We touched upon our storefront sales. I mean, obviously, we talked about COVID-19, and obviously, I'm well aware of, how hard the whole New York, New Jersey region was hit. And, we're planning to have a show and sell, and if not, we have online direct. So with the storefronts, one of the things we recommend is, 1 scout per 2-hour shift. This will maximize your sales. I didn't know any better, and I used to have 2-3 scouts, and we usually sell at about $100 per hour, and we're splitting the sales 2 or 3 ways. The nice thing when you have 1 scout per shift, it forces the parents to get involved. I know a lot of you leaders can probably relate to this. I can't tell you how many parents would come up and say, oh, little Vinny's got the shift from 8 to 10. I'm going to go shopping. I'm going to go work out. I'll be back in 2 hours to pick him up. Well, 1 scout per shift forces the parent to get involved. And as I said, you think about $100 per hour and think about where you have heavy foot traffic. If you go on Google and type in any store, it shows you the analytics. It actually shows you what day of the week is busiest. And it's a great way to recruit scouts. We're all in this for scouting, and we want to get kids in the program. We think that the kids need scouting today more than ever before. And I remember doing the show and sell with my son, and during one shift, I had 2 people come up to me asking about joining. One was a brand new person in the community, and he just wanted to find a good place that his son can enjoy the scouting program. So next slide we're going to go through is our personal sales. We've already touched upon the online direct. Again, just a great way to encourage scouts to create their own personal page, sell to friends and family members who live far away. By using the app, no face-to-face contact. None of us can predict what's going to happen in the next few weeks. Hopefully, the worst is behind us and we can go out there and sell. But if not, you have online direct. And then next would be our door-to-door sale, would be the selling on face-to-face. Next slide. So with the door-to-door, so if you choose to go out, you could just sell to your friends and neighbors. And we know with the door-to-door that we'll sell at a rate of $250 per hour in sales. You can have the product in hand. So I can actually have product that I have from my show and sell in the wagon. And by using the online direct, I can actually sell product and then it gets delivered from Trails End. So I don't have to make a return trip. And this was a method that was used by a scout in Baltimore who was our #1 seller in the region. And then finally, the next bullet is going to show you the sell to friends and family. As long as I have the app on my phone, it's a Scout's point of purchase app, but as long as I'm logged in, I can always make a sale. So as things start to open up and we're going back to our offices, the nice thing is that I can make a sale on the app and I can actually use the online direct, so I don't even have to come back. I don't want to have to be the guy that has to lug all the cases from my car into my office and then drop it off at everybody's desk. And then finally, we're going to motivate the scouts. We want to get every scout engaged to earn his or her own way. Set a goal per scout based upon funding their entire program year. And think about incentives that you can offer that's going to motivate the scouts. Simple stuff like Five Below or the dollar store. There's a lot of little things you can do. Work it into your pack or your troops budget. This picture shows you the pie in the face that so many of us are used to. This is our #1 pack in the country. What I like is that they have a motto is that, give us 8 hours and sell $1,000 and your year is paid for. So at their kickoff, if every scout promises that they're going to try to hit $1,000, they get to pie a leader in the face. And if they hit the goal at their big celebration, then they get to go up and pie the leader again. And it's always funny because I've seen the video and it's funny how the scout always picks their mom or dad. That's the leader they always choose to pie. And then parent buy-in. It teaches scouts life lessons. Obviously, a lot of families are hard hit. Very well aware of the Hudson Valley. I'm proud to say I'm a Rockland County guy. I grew up in Spring Valley. Pack 51 is where I cut my teeth in scouting as a youth and still have family there. And, I know I live in New Jersey and the whole tri-state area just been devastated. So many families are out of work. We all know family and friends. And, what we're trying to do is provide the scouts the ability to earn their way so they can still enjoy the scouting program. despite the hardships that families might be going through. And then finally, you want to have, your kickoff. I think today we're doing a Zoom meeting. This seems to be the new norm. So at the Trails End site, Vincent mentioned that we have a lot of training materials. It was also mentioned in the app. Sample agenda on how to do a virtual kickoff. Just some of the bullets we need to talk about, things that we covered tonight. Scouts earning their own way. We have materials to show how you can sell $1,000 in 8 hours while social distancing. All of our materials, you could just text us at 62771. We'll have all kinds of presentations for you. You want to talk about the rewards, your dates, get the parents to join our Facebook group. Have some fun with it. I know it's tough when you're doing things virtually, but we do have a lot of materials available for you to use. And then finally, we want to start selling early. Obviously, there's uncertainty with COVID-19 on the return. Actually, a lot of leaders have come to us and said that, our people we're starting to open up and things we're allowed out. I know New York on July 6th, things are starting to open up, and, you can actually start. We talked about the online direct, but start selling. With the app, you can actually start your take order sale. There's nothing stopping you starting July 1 from selling to friends and family members using the app for your wagon sale. It provides you more time to meet those goals, and we do have a promotion. Any online sales that are done between July 1 and August 15th, the units will get 5% in an Amazon card. And then something that we're going to be doing, a new program from Trails End. It's our online direct entrepreneur challenge. Information is available on our Facebook page. So scouts who pledge to do their best to sell 2,500 or more during that time frame, they'll get exclusive access to training and webinars from experts in business, marketing, and e-commerce. I've heard the names of some of the people that are going to be helping us out, and they are really a who's who in the business world, and your scouts can learn firsthand experience from some pretty prominent CEOs. And the first 200 scouts to hit the goal will receive a $200 Amazon gift card. And now I'm going to turn it back over to Vincent. Obviously, everything we've talked about with COVID-19, he'll go through some of the changes that we need to make.
Thanks, Gary. Hey, John, can you populate the rest? So, as you know, as Gary spoke to, not only your region, but a lot of the U.S. was hit pretty hard this year by COVID-19. And to speak to that, Trails End was hit hard as well, So not only us, but scouting was hit hard as well. And so, unfortunately, just like some of the other businesses, we have to make changes, and councils have to make changes as well, simply because, as Gary spoke to, we don't know when COVID is going to come back or if it's going to come back. And so it would be pretty irresponsible to take a bunch of risk not knowing what's going to happen. So earlier we spoke a little bit about inventory and about some of the advantages of doing online direct, simply because you wouldn't be saddled with a bunch of excess inventory. And that kind of falls into this as well. So what we're going to address now is some of the changes that we made to not only protect the units and the councils and Trails End, but to just make sure that everyone is still able to be productive without really having to take a bunch of risk on. So in terms of some of the changes that we're making this year, units are going to be limited on some of the product that they're able to get this year. So last year, if you were able to order, let's say $10,000, this year you're going to be able to order half of that at the front of the sale. And that, again, is because we don't really want to run into issues where you're saddled with all this product. You've taken on all this product and you're planning on having this great sale. And then all of a sudden, just before you get to step out, COVID hits again and everything's shut down. And now there's this excess inventory that you just cannot get rid of. And we really feel like it would be extremely irresponsible for us to saddle people like that. And so we're putting some processes in place to make sure that that doesn't happen. So some of the things we're doing is One, if you participate in Online Direct, that starts July 1st, and we're going to give scouts the ability to earn double points, as well as practice social distancing without having to worry about handling inventory. One, another way to combat this is that you can start the take order sale early, which could also be started on July 1st. And this will allow you to order exactly what you need to eliminate the guesswork. And two, parents will be able to pay using their unit using their credit card. So before once you place your order, we understand that we're limiting you, but what we're going to do is we're going to allow you to, if you go ahead and you get all your inventory and you're able to sell through it, we are willing to ship some replenishments, but in order to get that, you're going to have to be paid up with the council. So one of the reasons that we're pushing Online Direct and credit card usage so hard is that because, as you know, whenever you use credit cards, your whatever you owe the council is deducted right off of your invoice. So let's say you get out here and you do start selling and you sell Online Direct really, really hard. Well, if you do that, you're pretty much paying up your bill simply by doing something that's pretty easy to do, whether it's swiping a credit card or whether it's having a scout selling through Online Direct. And if you do happen to have some cash on hand, you can use that cash to finish off your bill and you'll be good to go for your next shipment of product. So that's one of the reasons why we're pushing Online Direct so hard. But in addition to that, we're also making sure that we're not just out here trying to say, hey, you got to do Online Direct to make sure you pay your bill. But we're also making sure that the scouts get something out of it as well, which is why we're offering the double rewards points and the 1.5 times points, just to make sure that we're not only keeping people safe, but there's some actual benefit from doing these things. Number three, as I spoke to a little bit, units will be permitted to order up to 50% of what they sold in 2019 for their initial order. And again, this just reduces the risk of excess inventory because it would be pretty morally irresponsible for us to allow people to pick up a lot of inventory simply to be straddled with it later with no means of getting rid of it because COVID came back. Number four, as I've spoken to, Trails In will work with you to order additional product as needed, as long as you sell through your product and pay your bill with the council. And then obviously what we're going to ask is that units use the app. And the reason we're asking this is because from a Trails In standpoint, Gary and myself, we literally have to look at every unit order just to make sure things are going well. And obviously if it's not ran through the app, then we don't really have visibility on that. And so we want to make sure that when we ship extra product, we're doing it in a way that's going to take care of the unit and not really screw somebody over simply because there may have been sales made that we didn't have the ability to see. 5, units placing a replenishment order will be required to pay for what they need from proceeds of what they have already sold, which this is what we've already spoken to as well, which I told you guys, we're going to need you to kind of pay your bill with the council before we can ship more product. And we're doing this to not only protect you guys, but to protect the council as well, because the councils do take major risk in terms of some of the financial debt that they take on just to help out the units. And then 6, which is going to be the major change, due to COVID-19, there will be no, we won't be accepting any return product this year. We understand that that may be a little bit of an inconvenience, but some of the things we talked about earlier in the presentation is that with COVID going around, it would be really unsafe for us to take that product back. One of the things I've spoken to was money. You know, money is paper, and if there's one thing that holds on to pretty much bacteria and everything, it's paper. And so we can't realistically have these boxes out here trading all of these hands, and then all of a sudden you take it back and you get a lot of people sick. But not only that, it's also going to make everyone be more aware of what they're ordering. It's kind of like one of those situations where you have a child who wants all this food and then they get all this food and realize they can't eat it. So we don't want to have a situation where a lot of product is, again, ordered up front, you know, and you've ordered so much that you realistically can't sell through it, whether it's too much product to sell through or whether COVID's come back. And so what we want to do is we want to make sure that we put something in place that not only protects everyone from minimizing the risk of excess inventory, but it's going to, from a unit level, it's going to also kind of make you look at your orders just to make sure you're not kind of ordering too much. But those are some of the things that we're doing this year. And we understand that some of it may not be ideal, but at the end of the day, every system that's been put in place is to not only protect the units in the council, but to make sure that we're being responsible from a financial standpoint. And then with that, I'm going to turn it back over to John.
All right, thank you, Vincent. Thank you, Gary. So key dates to remember. Remember, of course, online and direct sales, July 1st through August 15th. The show and sell orders, we're going to have them due on July 31st, 2020. Show and sell distribution will be August 22nd. Location of this distribution will be announced at a later date. Final show and sell payment, that's going to be October 23rd. It is not the Sunday that we have done before with the settlement because we are not taking any returns. So it's that Friday, October 23rd. Take orders are due October 30th. And then the take order distribution, same thing, we will announce at a later date where the distribution will be. That's going to be over that Thursday, Friday period of November 12th to the 13th. And then the final payment due to the council is that first Friday in December, December 4th. Another change for this year, one of the main goals that we have here for the council is we want to make this a simple and streamlined sale. So we are just doing a simple 35% commission. That is what, no matter what you guys are selling this year, it's 35%, online, direct, traditional, everything like that. That's where we're going. All the prizes are going to be through the Trails End program, and we're just streamlining the sale just because of the uncertainty with everything going on with COVID-19. Vincent, do you want to talk about the products?
Yeah, I can talk about products. So as you know, throughout the presentation, one of the main things we've talked about is a lot of the changes, and products are no different. So as I'm sure you've seen in the news, a lot of industries have been hit simply due to COVID-19. One of the main industries that have been hit is the meat industry, So the way meat is done is that it's co-packed. And what co-packed means is that you basically have a lot of people on a line working side by side, working hard to get a lot of your product packed. You can see that really didn't turn out well. You see in the news that we've had hundreds upon hundreds of factory employees getting sick simply because of being in close proximity to each other. We ourselves at Trails End have encountered some of this, and it has affected some of our products. So if you're familiar with the sale, right off the bat, you're going to notice that you see no chocolate products here. The reason that you see no chocolate products is because, again, those products are co-packed. So we do have partners that we work with that stand side by side and pack these boxes for us and make sure that they get to your scouts. So I say that you don't see chocolate here, but I don't want you to fret. We actually do have chocolate this year, and that is going to be an online only item. The reason that you don't see it here is because realistically, we didn't feel like we could provide it for you, for the council and the units and you guys, as we traditionally do. What we usually do at Trails End is that we produce all the product up front and then we get it out to you. Well, for the chocolate product, we work with a company called Palmer Candy. Generally, what these guys do is that they continuously run this product for us until we have enough. But with this product being co-packed, that's not something that they could do safely this year. And so they themselves have put some processes in place to kind of make sure that we can still produce this without having to get anyone sick. And unfortunately, in order to do this, that means that they systematically have to shut down their machines, clean them, and then fire them up that way. Now, obviously, when you shut down anything, you're losing production time. And because of that, they're not able to produce it like they usually are. So in order to kind of help out with that and to still be able to offer this product, we've moved it to online only. So what moving it to online only does is it slows down the need for them to produce it. And so it gives them time to kind of get these things ready for us at a slower pace than what they normally would have to do. Another item that you'll notice is missing is kettle corn. There won't be any kettle corn this year, and that's simply because it's, again, another item that we just were not sure that we could get out to you guys this year. And then rather than put the picture on here and say, yeah, we can get you guys kettle, and then later on have to pull it back. We just decided to do away with it. Another item that you do not see on here is the microwavable Unbelievable butter. I can tell you that we do have that item this year, but two things have happened to it. One, we've had to move it to an online only item, and two, we've had to reduce it from 18 bags to 12 bags. Now, I talked to you guys a little bit about the kettle and the chocolate, but the microwavable popcorn is actually suffering from a different kind of issue, which is both good and bad. It's bad in the sense that we're not able to offer it as we usually do, but the reason that we, I guess, can't offer it is because something kind of good that happened. So as you know, with everyone being sheltered in because of COVID, you see an uptick in things like Netflix and movies and things of that nature. Well, what that's done to the microwavable industry is that it's actually increased it 60%. And because it's increased it 60%, we're actually having an issue with keeping up with production. A good example of this is if you go to any Walmart or local store, you're going to see that the shelves are fairly bare when it comes to microwavable popcorn. And that's simply because the demand is so high right now that it's hard to keep up. But it's not even just the product itself. There's also a shortage of the bags that the product comes in, even the plastic film that wraps those bags. And so realistically, it's, again, an item that we couldn't produce like we normally would for the popcorn sale. So by moving it to online only, that allows us to try to get it ready at a slower pace and still have the ability to offer it. So that's one of the things that we're doing. But we understand that for a lot of people, the microwavable Unbelievable butter does hold a big source of the sale. And to kind of fill that hole for you a little bit, what we are offering is a ready-to-eat Unbelievable butter. And not only that, we're also going to be offering it at a $15 price point. Over the years, if there's one thing we at Trails Inn have heard is, hey, we need another $10 item, or hey, we need another $15 item. And so to kind of fill that need for you, we are giving you the Unbelievable butter ready to eat at a $15 price point. And again, you are still going to be able to order the microwavable Unbelievable butter, but that's now just an online only item. From a product standpoint, in terms of some of the other changes that have taken place, we've moved the popping corn now into a jar. If you're like me and you bought the popping corn bags last year, you may have spent many evenings picking it up once you drop it. It was not a fun process and there was no way to reseal it. We've changed that this year and we've placed it in a plastic container, but obviously with anything, because we've switched to a plastic container, we've had to increase the cost a little bit by $5 just to account for that. So you are going to get the popping corn this year in a jar, and it is resealable, so you don't have to force yourself to eat it in one sitting. And then last but certainly not least, with everything going on, we are pleased to announce that we have come out with a new item this year, which is the Blazing Hot Popcorn. Luckily, before everything shut down, we did have the ability to sample it back in January, and I can tell you it is extremely good, and you guys will really, really like it. From a Blazing Hot standpoint, the hot industry is up right now simply because everyone seems to be really interested in hot popcorn. Now, luckily, it's not as up as the microwavable popcorn is, and so we're still able to offer that item. And then one additional change that you will notice is that if you do like the Blazing Hot Popcorn, you are also going to be able to find that item in the Cheese Lovers collection. That is now going from 3 bags to 2, but they're going to be larger bags and they're going to be finished bags. So what you're going to get in those boxes are the Blazing Hot Popcorn as well as the white cheddar popcorn, which if you mix those two together, that too is a phenomenal combination. And so those are some of the things you're getting in the box as well. But other than that, one of the other notable changes is that the microwave is going to be $25, just so you're aware of that. And then some of the other changes is that if you're used to the military donations, you will notice that those are different in the app this year. Instead of military donations, what you're going to see is American Heroes donation. And so this gives you the opportunity to not only donate to the military as you've done in the past, but you're also able to donate to our first responders as well. And with that, I am going to turn it back over to John.
All right, thank you, Vincent. So just remember, for Trails End contact information, you can visit their website or email them. Also, this is my contact information, john.whitaker@scouting.org, and Patty Carter, the council colonel, that's her email there. So if you have any questions at all, shoot us an email. We're going to send out information to each district on who their district colonel is this week, as well as we're going to be sending out the this slide presentation. It's going to be available as a PDF to download on the website, and we're going to email it out. And we're also going to be posting this recording as well. So let me go to the next slide. All right, so thank you all. Let's get into questions. I was not checking the chat, and because I have my screen shared, and there's a lot of stuff here. So Vincent, how do you want to do this?
Well,
questions?
Because I was answering them during the presentation, so I think we've got them all answered.
Okay, great.
I think somebody, if you want to just put something in chat, if there's something that we haven't covered.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna.
You answered the big one, was will there be a copy of the slide deck? That was the big one.
Yes. Another thing, I got a bunch of private comments and a couple of text messages to answer a question about what's going on with the 2019 prizes. Yes, we know that they have not gotten to you yet, and I apologize for that. You know, we're getting them together and getting them out, and in March, and then COVID hit. So I'm working on getting that. We were going to get the gift cards from the Scout Shop, but that is closed. It has been closed and will be closed for the foreseeable future. And we're not exactly sure when they're going to open. But we're working directly with the National Supply Group on what we're doing. And so this summer we're going to get you all the prizes that you guys are missing. If anyone wants to ask a question, you can go ahead and unmute yourself.
See, there's a question on the webinar. When you go to our page, there's all different topics. So when you go to the website, you'll actually see different topics. There's for scouts, there's for top sellers, there's the whole calendar.
Hi, John. This is Elisa with Pack 42 in Red Hook. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. A lot of people have been asking on the chat, and I have that question too. We've always been really, really, really good at show and sells. Where are we at with that? Do we want to do them, or do we have to, wear masks? I mean, what's the deal with that?
Yeah, so I mean, yes, show and sells are a possibility for you guys to do this year. Just remember some of the challenges that we're facing, that you're only going to be able to order
Understood.
At least 50%. But yes, yep. You're able to. You are absolutely need to follow all your local regulations. So yeah, you have to wear masks. And also in terms of anything that you do, just like what was put out by the latest COVID-19 update from the council, before you do any scouting activities, you have to have your chartering organization approval and all that good stuff.
Okay. And can we still, like what last year with show and sells, as long as I have scouts that attend a show and sell and they have a Trails End account, I can manually input their sales?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Right? Okay. Thank you.
You can, Elise, you can do that. Absolutely. It's more work for the unit colonels. I would suggest that the scouts try to take a little bit more ownership of that.
Right.
But you absolutely can put their sales in manually because you'll be setting up the show and sell as the unit colonel.
Honestly, my biggest struggle is getting them to actually set up a Trails End account. So
yeah, so John and I had spoken about that, and Dave, and that's one of the big pushes is to get as many scouts from the month of July to sign up for their Trails End scout account, because it would overwhelm everybody.
And we're a big popcorn seller, but I got maybe 30–40% of my scouts have ever set up a Trails End account. Unfortunately, that's been door to door more for them in show and sells, and we have incentives that we do pack level that they really push for, but we're obviously pushing this year. You're not selling popcorn if you don't have a Trails End account. That's kind of our take on it right now.
Yeah, it's up to the unit how you will handle that, but definitely I would push towards the Scout account, because as you could see, there's most of the incentives come through Trails End.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
That's one of the reasons we made the registration process a lot easier for scouts.
Perfect.
Takes less than a minute to go in there and register. And plus with the online direct and online starting in July and
Yeah,
system, it's really in their best interest to do it.
absolutely.
But real quick and easy.
I have a quick question. So it's 50% of the initial show and sell order from last year, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And are there going to be like extra products back at council?
We're not planning on any extra product, but what we are doing is, as I spoke to a little earlier, if you do manage to sell through that, we will be able to give you replenishments. You just have to make sure that you're paid out with the council.
Okay. Thank you.
Joy has a question. $7.99 shipping cost for the first item, and then every item after that is 99 cents each. I don't believe there is a max shipping amount, right, Vincent?
Correct. That's correct.
Yep.
And I do just want to go back to the show and sells for the units that do want to do them and feel comfortable, making sure that the parents are also comfortable that you have the manpower, but to start contacting the stores just to see what their policies will be. Because I don't want you to get stuck with all the, even ordering half of your order from last year. If say 10,000 was what you ordered last year, you order 5,000 this year, and then you start to try to get a storefront and they're not allowing it. So I would just caution and make sure that you check with your storefronts.
Great call out, Patty. Thank you. I didn't even think of that.
Well, and yes, I know you were talking about, what our takes are is show and sell is usually 1/3, if not more, of the sales for units.
Yeah.
But again, I know that there's a lot of lakes that did not rent pavilions for the month of June and July.
Right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So Patty, should we be checking to see when they want to place a show and sell order? Should we ask them? Did you guys check the storefronts?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I would. Yeah. I mean, unless my other suggestion is there is that opportunity to go door to door, show and deliver. So, if most of your inventory is for show and sells and not show and deliver, then okay. I would definitely make sure they have stores lined up.
Okay.
Otherwise, you're going to be sitting on the product and you're paying for the product. Either the unit is going to make a decision to pay for the product, or if you're taking it from den, some units 12 and out by den level, then it has to be paid one way or another. There's no returns, absolutely no returns.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, Vincent, I have a quick question for you, actually a comment and a question. The first thing I wanted to just say is I really appreciate you guys taking the time to, come on to this kickoff meeting. I've been involved with this for a couple years, and this is the first time I've had the pleasure of meeting, anyone from Trails End, so I appreciate you coming on. You mentioned earlier in regards to pricing that you're going to a more traditional pricing, and I know last year the shipping for online sales was included in the price. Can you please explain to me, since we're going to be, now charging for shipping, how does the pricing compare this year than to last year?
As you spoke to, the shipping price was built into the price, was built into last year's price. This year, if I'm not mistaken, it's a little less. I think Trails End is taking on a little more in terms of the cost of that. But the way we arrived at that is that we want to make sure that we were being fair to the customers, but at the same time, asking for enough that's going to cover what we need to get the product there. So that is something that we had to do, but by doing the $7.99 and 99 cents, we're able to kind of give you prices that are at the traditional show and sell prices.
Feedback we got last year was an item that would normally sell for $25 was being priced at $35 online. So even though the shipping was included, it was too expensive. And feedback from a lot of our folks from around the country said, look, in the event that we can't do show and sell, or our families just don't want to have any face-to-face. They just felt this is such an unusual year that if my next door neighbors always buys the white cheddar, this is a year that they'll be willing to buy the white cheddar and pay for the shipping, understanding that scouts want to keep social distancing. So that's why we made the change based upon that feedback.
There's Kathy Quirk. I think you had a question, something about the sale being over. I didn't quite get that.
Sorry, it was the comment about the Poughkeepsie Plaza Mall and Poughkeepsie Gallery being open eventually. I don't think it's going to be open before the sales are over.
So yeah, so one of the push right now is one of the reasons I am understanding is from July 1st to August 15th is the online direct, or if you go door to door doing it through the Trails End app. And then so then the show and sells obviously won't start until a take order of the distribution of August 22nd.
Yeah,
so
the malls aren't responding to messages. So
right, because they're definitely not open.
And they're not allowed to open yet, so the chances of them opening, hopefully before school starts, to be great. But
well, even before the show and sell delivery of July 31st. So we all have to take that into account. If you don't have show and sell set up, then you're looking at door-to-door sales at this point. So you really, units really have to be careful. And I would aim to get everybody to try to send out 30 emails literally every week just to try to get some online sales for themselves.
Yeah, it's hard in the packs, especially with the little kids, because a lot of the parents, they don't really understand that the popcorn helps them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll push. I mean, and we really do with the online, especially because it's so easy, but they don't get it.
And one of the other
thing is that there's no way I'm going to get my parents to start on July 1st. It's not happening.
Mm-hmm.
They just got over distance learning to have them go back online and do online stuff. That's asking a lot for them. And I'm going to tell them about it. I'm going to mention it. I'm going to recommend it. But I don't see this being a very good year at all.
No, we understand your concerns. We all kind of hashed around that also. On July 1st is the start date. Obviously, maybe give them, put it out there and give them a deadline, maybe by July 15th to at least get the Trails End Scout account personal page open, and then have them start working through August 15th, which is 30 days. 45 days is a long time, and like you just said, to when we come off. So I understand that. And one of the things is with parents, for the younger scouts, it's very important that we get that message out there, earn your own way through scouting. If the parents understand that message and understand that these are totally learning life skills, public speaking, communication, just keep reiterating that to the parents, please.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard because we can't have a pack meeting because we're over 25 people and they don't read emails. They only read emails from Jeff. I don't know why. They won't read anyone else's emails. So it is kind of hard. And we'll put it on our page and everything, but I mean, normally August 1st was great. I could kick it off, but moving it up a month, it's going to be hard because now even my sister, she's relieved that she doesn't have to deal with Chromebooks every other day. And now it's, hey, guess what? We're going to have a sale starting July 1st on Wednesday. Good luck. Not good.
Somebody asked when the sale ends, John, and our take orders, I believe I saw on the date was October 30th.
Correct. Yeah. Yep. I mean, just Kathy, just, July 1st, of course, is very sudden. I mean, even if you make it, hey, a short August 1st, August 15th, just so they have that chance to get those double points. Even if you want to do that, or July 15th, August 15th, just a suggestion for you guys. I know that it is a lot, that we're asking the units to do, but it is a good opportunity to try to do an end date for online sales. There is no end date for online sales, right? Right, Vincent? It's just all the time.
Correct. The online sales continue. I would say they stop at December 31st, but the online sale goes. So you could literally be done with your sale, sitting on your couch, and you're still making sales, still earning gift cards. So yeah, it's continuous.
This is Joe Montefiore from PAC 2. Two clarification and then one question. The by the Scouts, it said July 1st to August 15th, but they can continue to sell through October, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's just the double points end on August 15th.
Right, and this is
No,
yeah.
no. The if you sell through the online direct from July 1st through August 15th, that's the promotion where the units are able to earn 5% more in gift cards. So they're going to get 5% of their sales back in the form of gift cards. But in terms of double points, if you continue to sell on as long as you make a sale through online direct, every time you make that sale, you get double points for that sale. So the double point aspect is non-ending. It's just
Okay.
a regular part of the online direct.
But in terms of the boys selling, whether it's door to door or friends, family, whatever, that goes to the October date or whatever it is. Okay. And the next question I have is
Actually, till December 31st. They can sell online. They'll still get rewards through the end of the year.
okay. The next question I have is related to the product descriptions. You know, you look in the app and it just says, you know, hot popcorn or cheese lovers box or whatever. There's no description of, you know, it's a 10-ounce bag or any of the ingredients or anything like that. Is there any place to get that information so that you can help people understand what they're getting? You have people potentially with whatever that might be dealing with ingredients, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's listed on our website. We have all that on the website. It was just too much to put on the app.
Okay, so we can find it on there and then print it and take it with us.
Right. It has also all the information about the allergens, people that have nut allergies. If you need, anybody needs a kosher certificate, we're OU certified. So when you go to the Trails End under resources, it's all right there.
Okay, thank you.
Quick question. I am looking at online direct on the app right now, and the offerings are mostly donations, buy me some peanuts and coffee. Will there be more product added to that?
July 1.
Yeah, it hasn't gone live yet.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's the old e-commerce products. July 1 is when all the new products will be uploaded.
And I think we should just clarify for the units that are committing to sell, is July 1st, they go online, or can they go online before July, like we're only 2 days before that, to commit to sell?
They can commit to sell before July 1st, but July 1st is when online direct takes effect, and you're going to see our new products, and everything's going to switch over officially to online direct. So right now what you have is our traditional online e-commerce from last year, but once July 1st hits, everything shifts over to online direct.
Okay.
It'd be good to know that in advance, what we're selling.
Okay, anyone else? All right, David Horton, our Scout Executive, would you like to say any parting words before we head out?
I just want to say thank you to everyone for what they're doing to make sure that Scouting is continuing to be a part of the lives of these youth that we're working with, their families. We've been making really very extra special strides with everyone we can. We're offering a lot of online things, and I know online learning, that was something schools had to do and the children had to do along with their parents, and it gets old after a bit, but Scouting continues. We offer merit badges. We're offering a lot of Cub Scout support and resources to everyone. And I think this sale is just another way that we can support our families, you know, in our local units. We know it's been a good sale. Hudson Valley Council's been known for its popcorn sale for many, many years. We just have to take what we've been given. And you know what they say, when you're handed a lemon, make lemonade with it. And that's what we're going to have to do. So again, I appreciate Trails End. I've known Gary Rosenfeld since 1990. He and I have been around for some time together. And Vincent, I've gotten to know quite a bit. I just think we have a great support team. And John is our staff advisor. He's new to that role, but he'll be great in it. And we're looking forward to having Patty as the council chair. So I'm thanking everyone for what you're doing. I appreciate it greatly. We want you to be healthy and safe. That's our most important thing. We've lost 16 of our scouting family to COVID, and we just don't want to see anyone else be lost to it. So we're going to do everything we can to protect everybody, and you need to do that too in your local units. So thank you.
Thank you, David. So I got a lot of private comments to me. If you have any, if I didn't answer you, please shoot me an email. Again, john.whitaker@scouting.org, so I can answer your questions. I can't have a council meeting without promoting the Camp in a Box. It's happening right now. Session 1 has been mailed out. We have over 750 participants in our virtual summer camp program this summer, which is, I jokingly say, about 749 more than I thought we'd get because we didn't know what to expect. So we're very excited to offer this program. Sessions 3 and 4 are still open for registration, so you can head on over to hudsonvalleyscouting.org/camp-in-a-box and register your scouts. So that's for both Cub Scouts and Scouts BSA. We're offering 48 different merit badges and at-home activities for Cub Scouts, and it's not all online. It's not all online, so there's a lot of at-home stuff to do with the family. So you can, if you have any questions about that, you can shoot me an email about that too. So thank you, everyone. Patty, do you have any parting words you'd like to say?
No, just if anybody needs anything, please contact me. On the slides it says it, but it is pcarter3@hvc.rr.com. I'm pretty cool about getting emails right back to you, and I'll do my best, and I'm here to support you. So please utilize me.
Thank you, Patty. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you, everyone. You have a good night. Thank you.